I do it.
Oh,
It
we'll talk
works
about it.
great. I'll show you what I do for food. You can do it for gaming.
Yeah, I'm sure I probably could.
You will really, it literally takes me minutes.
That's why I can't wait to.
And you'll get over 1,000 views, dude. How would you like to
Live,
get
by the way.
thousands of views? What?
We are live, by the way.
I don't give a crap. But
Thousands of views.
how cool would it be to get
I'm
every
actually getting
short?
thousands of views on my my
These
gaming shorts.
Yeah.
Like I've
I'm
got one
telling.
right now.
You'll get more subscribers too.
Let's see if I go into my analytics. I've got one YouTube short for Fortnite clip. It's in at 6.8 thousand views.
Yeah. And that'll get you into the
What's
partnership
up, everyone?
program with YouTube.
Welcome in. Still waiting for everybody to jump in or join us. But well, while we're doing that, I can actually bring this up live.
Whenever you're ready, I'll be ready.
Well, I'm ready. I'm just bringing up the tab on my. I wish I could. Yeah, I've got a Microsoft Surface. It's like a tablet / PC or laptop.
Do you want my apologies?
Kind of like that. No, because I like my Surface.
Oh, okay.
My Surface.
Oh, congratulations.
What is it? I think. Well, it's a Surface 7 Pro. Surface 7 Pro. I think it's got. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. I don't have any way of comparing. No, not AI mode. I don't need AI.
What's up?
Yeah, see, I think it's got like 58 gigabytes of storage, 16 gigabytes of RAM, to 1 terabyte. No, not 1 terabyte. It's a 10th gen Intel Core processor. So, I mean, it's a pretty powerful little tablet.
It works. Gets the job done.
Yeah.
All matters. So what are we going to start off with? What topic?
Yeah, see, like Michael said, it's a nice all-around purpose computer. It's not the greatest. There's still downfalls because, I mean...
Yeah, one is Microsoft. But anyway...
Oh,
but I'm dealing with my crap with Apple. Either way, you get crap.
Well, true. I mean, you're still subject to the corporate world in some way, shape, or form.
Subject to the man.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So yeah, Microsoft. So Apple just sucks intelligence-wise. Their AI is awful. They don't have any AI. But Microsoft likes to force their updates on you without your permission. I didn't understand that.
Who?
You'd be like Microsoft. Like they update, they don't even ask you. They just start updating. It's like, what the frick?
I think there's still a way. Oh, cool. Everybody's jumping in. All right. I think there's still a way that you can like circumvent that. You can kind of set it to where it doesn't auto update.
Really?
And as long as it's not on auto update,
everybody I know has it updates automatically. I don't know.
Well, yeah, because it's default to auto.
Right.
So
I don't do that. I don't do that.
I turn all off.
My phone, my computer, my tablet, everything.
Yeah. I'm like, if it doesn't work out of the box, I'm sorry. There's no reason for an update. It's a faulty product from the get-go.
Unless you're into the gaming world, right? That always has a patch. Always.
I mean, games.
Every game I've bought in the past
especially games these days. Games these days, yeah, everything's patched.
By the time it gets to you in the mail, if you bought it, off of Amazon or something, it literally has like 15 patches already. You're like, what is this?
Wow, everybody's jumping in. All right, so
I know.
Yeah, waiting for me to get a victory royale. That was a struggle last night. Surfaces all nice. Okay, Jimmy, did you hear about the accusation of Elon being ousted from the White House because he was trying to install Grok on the Wi-Fi? Yeah, I've heard something about that. I think it's just rumors.
Okay, so
I think it's a made up story.
let's clear the air. Trump and Elon are still friends. They both have apologized. They made up. Whether it was real or not, who knows? But Trump, like one of our topics, is the two of them working together again
Yeah,
with the Trump media. So
yeah, we'll get into that.
yeah. So if the White House has any issues with Trump, I mean Elon, Trump
Ziggy
doesn't.
Ziggy says, Jack, you are looking like a Cali gangster today with your Crip shirt and and chain.
Sorry, I'm not usually a blood. I'm usually a Crip.
Are you?
No, I'm just dude.
Wait, you're Italian. How could you be
Wait,
either one?
isn't Blue's a Crip, right?
Yeah, blue.
Isn't that Snoop Dogg?
I don't know.
I've met him before. Nice guy.
It's
He's a
all
nice guy.
silliness to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Uh,
Sorry, didn't mean to
uh,
look gangsta.
Huge and amazing news from Trump today. Trump Mobil. Yep, that's one of the things we're going to get into, Colin. Way
I
better
guess.
than anything I could have imagined.
Well,
And by the
especially
way,
since
hello, Colin.
wait a minute. If Trump Mobile is running on Starlink, then it's not going to run on AT&T or Verizon. It's going to run on Starlink. That's it.
Is it?
Yeah. The two of them are working together, obviously. I'm sure they're not running on Starlink without Elon's permission. But how cool is that? So they don't have to. Okay, somebody's dying.
What's up, Redlow?
Somebody's getting killed because the phone companies are not going to put up with this. Trump, I mean, AT&T or Verizon is going to put a hit out.
Then weren't we talking about that prior to the going live? That they were going to be running off of the other networks, other
I thought
towers?
they were, but I realized they don't need to. Not if we're
Trump.
running off satellites.
Oh, yeah, if I
They're
can
going to be
spell
like
right.
satellite phones.
Here, let me try it this way. Network. Trump Mobile launches a bold new wireless service for ... It says offers 5G through all three major cellular carriers.
Oh,
At
they
the
are
heart.
using all
Wait,
three.
what?
Are they using all three carriers?
I don't know. It just get off.
I mean,
It
I know Starlink for sure.
says announced the 10-year anniversary of the father's launch. Okay, yada yada yada. Trump Mobile will offer 5G service through all three major cellular carriers. At the heart of Trump Mobile is its flagship, the 47 plan, which is available for $47.45 per month.
47, literally? Serious?
Yeah, $47.45 per month. So he was
What
the
happened to 86.47? I thought we'd pay that per month.
I mean, he was the 47th and 45th president. So 47,
I
45 maybe.
know, so it should be $45.
Yeah, it should be 45, 47, right?
Yeah.
Subscribers will receive the following added benefits: unlimited talk, text, and data, complete device protection, 24/7 roadside assistance through Drive America, telehealth services, free international calling, no contracts, no credit check.
Wow.
But it doesn't say anything.
It doesn't talk about pharmacy.
Well, I brought that. I did say that telehealth services, including
Right.
virtual medical care, mental health support, and easy ordering and delivery for prescription medications. It doesn't say anything about a discount on any.
Okay, well, they talked about lowering medicine for people in America, that the companies are going to be forced to drop their prices to third world country prices. Like, if another country is getting it for cheaper, Trump says we're getting it for that same price.
Yep.
So, like, if India is paying $10 for this medicine, whatever it is,
That's another thing. They'll have 24-hour a day assistance. So,
right?
and it will be all customer service. There's no automation whatsoever.
And doctor, you can reach a doctor 24/7.
Yeah.
Like, there's going to be medical
I think
professionals that can help you.
telehealth
So, like,
service.
urgent care will be on your phone. You don't have to go anywhere.
Complete device
I like it.
protection. Trying to find where, like, if it says It doesn't say anything about like what it says.
I'm getting
Well,
tons
customers
of
can easily
messages.
switch using their current phone. Trump Mobile is also excited to announce it will release a T1 phone in August. It is a sleek gold smartphone engineered for performance and proudly designed and built in the United States for customers who
T1.
expect the best from their mobile carrier.
What's so great about T1?
It's the gold phone.
I'm gonna put a freaking black case on it anyway,
I know.
or I'll put a gold case on the phone. I don't need to pay extra for gold.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I've never understood about or the point of a color of a phone
Well,
because I mean, you end up putting a case on
I
it.
know.
I
I got
mean,
a case.
yeah,
It even though my phone's black, so is my case. So
Windows 7 was a
if I
home
want to change the
run.
color, I just change the case. I don't know. I'm
Let's see,
not
Team
excited
OS
about it.
phones.
It's gonna be interesting. It's really gonna it's really gonna piss off AT&T and Verizon. It's really gonna upset them because think about it. Half the country, let's say half, we'll be
Yeah,
generous. Okay. Half the country will go to it.
yeah, I could see that.
You don't have to worry
Michael
about the
Caine says
NSA listening to you.
Michael Caine says Trump kept his cool during the entire feud. Lesson to be learned there. Absolutely agree. Um, that was the thing. Like I said, I think it was all staged because of the fact that Trump kept his cool. You know, he didn't lose his shit like he normally
Right,
would.
right.
He didn't
Okay.
like start going into name calling. He didn't start going into you know the
Do you know what
typical
proves
Trump,
it was staged?
huh?
There is no way they didn't start talking about working together before the argument on the
Yeah,
phone. There's no way. There's no way they made this up overnight. They've been
yeah.
talking about this for all year. So they've
Well,
been friends the whole
at least
time.
at least I would say at least somewhere around the time that the protests at the Tesla dealerships were going on. Once
Uh,
that started, I'm sure by at least that or then, at
yeah.
that point, people were like, or they were probably like, okay, how do we resolve this without being like being a big deal in public?
It, oh no, it's a big deal. I
Well,
mean,
I'm trying to word this correctly, and it's not what I
he's
said. Obviously, doesn't make
I'm
sense,
telling you, there'll be another
but
attempt on his life, and they'll blame it on Iran. They're going,
then,
oh, Iran tried to kill him. Oh, because you can't shoot. Is
well, I
that
mean, now it doesn't even have to be Iran. It could be all
it
these
could be
illegal.
anybody. It could be the mailman.
It could be all these illegals that's here.
Yeah, it's literally, it's crazy. He's the most okay. If you think about it, he's the most loved man and the most hated man at the same time. Think about it.
Yeah,
I mean, like, I can't imagine the hate he gets every day. It's just endless. And yet, the whole country voted for him. So I don't know what's going on. How can you be both?
yeah. I don't know.
Are you
Uh,
getting the phone?
Michael says it's a test run with T-Mobile. They will add more carriers later. Let's see. Candy says something about pimp hats and thinks I should get one. I don't know what she's talking about.
A pimp hat?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I think Trump Mobile is going to run on Temple OS. Hmm.
You mean the operating system? Uh,
Well, yeah, that's what OS stands for.
what's Temple OS?
I don't know. I've never heard of it.
No. I mean, they could run on Android. It's free. It's open source.
I
So I don't
wonder if
see them.
it's
Say again.
because there's Temple OS, formerly J operating system, Loose and Sparrow OS. is a biblical themed, lightweight operating system designed to be the third temple.
Who
Okay.
knows? As long as it can call people, I don't care. We're not even going to
I wonder
notice.
what it, because like I think the unplugged phone runs off of a different OS as well.
Tizen, Samsung's operating system.
Phone OS. Libertas. That's what unplugged runs off of.
I don't know. Knowing Elon, he'll have his own guys make their own software.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, I don't know, but it would be
Yeah,
smart.
at this point, I mean, I wonder if Grok could do it.
Well, yeah, I wonder if it could program all of it. It doesn't really matter. You're gonna have all the apps. Everything's gonna work, no matter what operating system. You won't even notice.
I guess
So
it wasn't the interest rates getting lowered.
no, it wasn't.
What?
Really bummed because I wanted the interest rates to go down.
Oh
I know
yeah.
he's been complaining about it.
Well, we're
I've been
supposed to be.
wishing
He
for
was
it.
talking about like credit card interest rates are supposed to be at 10% max.
Snoozy says it's like Linux, but wholly
Linux.
Linux. Sorry,
Yeah.
I haven't worked with Linux, or that's why I'm calling it Linux.
Oh, well,
Damn
Linux
Linux.
I think is like an open source
Yeah.
operating
It also, but isn't
system
Android
on
still open
PCs.
source? Android is way more.
Well, yeah, it's definitely more open source. I think it still has limitations, but
Right. They'll probably make their own just to make sure nobody can backdoor it.
let's see.
Elon OS. Gatsby wrote Elon OS.
Elon
That would
OS.
be funny.
That would be funny.
That'd be hilarious.
Ziggy asks, "Are we allowed to talk politics on this channel?" Yeah, I mean, it's open discussion.
It's not my deal. It's
unlocked
Jimmy's deal.
cell phone.
So whatever he says goes.
Looks like well, Homer brings up a good point. It's an
Yeah.
unlocked cell phone. You can use it on any network. So yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Oh, that's
I think
right.
it's still
Homer's
limited
right.
to mobile at the moment.
Yeah, you can pick your carrier. You don't have
Yeah.
to go with whatever they got.
I think that's how. Like I remember when Apple was first came into play, weren't they
Right.
stuck on one like a
It was
AT&T,
locked to
something like that?
AT&T, but then it
Yeah,
became
then
unlocked.
then you could unlock it and use it on any carrier. And I think Verizon was the first one to pick it up after that. What if I had a feather in my hat? I missed quite a few shows. I broke up with my boyfriend. I need time to get back to normal. Sorry to hear that, Candy.
So what? What happened?
I guess Candy broke up with her boyfriend. She missed a few of our shows.
I want to see Meatloaf sub month.
5G.
How many ways can you make a Meatloaf sub? Probably one.
What? I don't get that. Let's see. Ziggy says you won't censor us. What? Says you won't censor us for talking about the recent political shootings, like we get censored on F as in Frank, will you? We didn't censor anybody for talking about the shooting.
I'm getting. What's up
Did
with
we?
Ziggy?
I don't know.
I'm really getting frustrated hearing Jack ranting all the time about Apple.
What do you mean? I want to know more about that.
They have revolutionized the tech world with the iPad. Does Jack want to still be using a freaking BlackBerry?
What? Does he not realize that you have iPhone and
I have a Mac. I have an Apple TV.
aren't you on a
I have an iPhone. I have everything Apple's ever made.
Aren't you on a Mac right now?
Apple Intelligence sucks. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to kiss the Apple butt. But you go ahead and do whatever you want. But I'm not ragging on them. We would not have smartphones without Apple. They started the first smartphone. But Google's done a great job competing with them. I
I'm
love this
behind.
competition,
I'm
but
behind on this
I'm
conversation in the chat.
still with Apple. Hello.
Motorola phones are around that. Y'all pre-ordered y'all's Trump phone yet? Not yet. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm going to at the moment. I'd rather see like even with like consoles, like video game consoles, I wait a year or two because any bugs that they've got in the device, especially nowadays, I mean, anything that comes out like right off the line always has bugs, always has problems. I mean, can you think of, I mean, can you does anybody not remember the was it the what is it called, the Red Death or Red Circle of Death or something like that, the Red Ring
Yep, I remember
from
that.
Xbox.
Yeah.
PlayStation had their problems, so
Listen,
I never
I
buy
give,
anything right from the get go. I
I
wait.
give credit where credit's due. Google done some good work, done some innovative stuff. Apple's copied them. Apple, though, when Apple and Google do something, Apple usually designs it better, in my opinion. I think the Samsung phone, the camera that's on the Samsung phone, is the best phone camera out of all companies. Okay. You ask me, I'll tell you the good and the bad of each company. But I'm gonna tell you, Apple Intelligence is not intelligent. Everybody knows that. It's a joke. It's embarrassing. They use Chat GPT on the Apple phone. That's what I'm logged into right now because nothing else works. It's don't get me started.
Yeah.
And there's a class action lawsuit for a reason.
Let's see. It says given how Trump's other business have gone, I'm excited. I'm proud a proud graduate of Trump University. Trump casinos were my favorite too. Okay. Motorola phones made in the US or US. I don't think Motorola phones are made in the US. I could be wrong about that though. I'd have to look it up.
I don't. I have no idea.
I'm not familiar with it, to be honest. Uh,
Oh my gosh, my phone is blowing up message wise.
that's super interesting.
It's like people know. Oh, he must be streaming with Jimmy. So
Right?
we're gonna text message him.
Let's see. Trump Mobile is a super interesting concept from a man who is businessman at heart. That said, I might stick with Verizon. I was with Verizon, but I went to from Verizon to Xfinity, and I've been with them ever since. But I mean, even Xfinity, I think it's just mobile service is just overpriced. The product
Way
is the
overpriced.
product isn't worth what you're paying for. Uh, I buy specific color phones and use
Remember
clear.
when we had data caps?
Oh, that's a
I
good
hated
point.
that. What?
Homer
What?
says he buys specific color phones and then uses the clear cases, which I've done that too. I
That's
have
it.
done that.
That's yeah.
I mean, especially if you buy a phone and like say it
Because
comes
the
in
color.
blue, yellow, green, or whatever,
Yeah,
then you're
I
like,
get it.
wait,
Totally.
is that going to make any sense if I buy a freaking red case or something? No.
Right. It's like, why didn't you
So,
buy the red version?
exactly. That's why it's like when I'm looking at a phone now, I don't really concern myself with the color of the phone because I can just pick a case that's going to be that color. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So there's a super thin case, but
My
it's
problem
super
is I get
strong.
Pixels. I get the Google Pixel, and there's not a market. It's not like Apple where you know you got you can doesn't matter what color Apple iPhone you get. There's
You can get
a
the color.
billion and one freaking cases for the freaking iPhone.
Wonder why.
Like
Hmm.
I go on and look for the Pixel freaking case, and there's like two, three, four, maybe five if you're lucky to
I know.
choose from,
I hear
and then
you.
you got to choose whether it's a good or good case, or if it's a mediocre case. Then if you pick which one you want to get, and if the price is uh, respectable, then you go, okay, now what color do I want? And then it's like, oh, well, you only come in two colors, black or white. Great, that narrows things down for me.
Exactly.
Gives me a broad range of non-color. I almost want to go out and like I've always wanted to do that. Like, take a phone and then make a mold and then make my own case for it. Because like even this one, like I've got this case for it, and it's got this thing that's supposed to be a kickstand, right?
Right.
But if I lean the kickstand, it like leans the phone like this, right? And it's
Crazy.
like, okay, well that defeats the purpose of kicking it up, right? It's like
Yeah.
pointless.
Whoops.
So even cases don't even work all that great.
I hear you.
Jack,
I don't understand why sometimes the comments, I mean the chat scrolls, sometimes it doesn't. Drives me
I think it
nuts.
only does it if you like make sure it's scrolled all the way to the bottom. If you scroll up any or whatsoever, it'll stop scrolling on its own. Um,
Yeah,
Candy
but
said, Jack, I had a big problem the other day. I bought some rice for my jambalaya, and there was a few grains less in the packet. I bought it from Walmart. I feel ripped off.
what did
A
it
few
not
grains.
match the
How would you
weight?
know how many grains is in it?
Yeah, they don't give a number of grains, but I get your humor. Um,
Uh,
yeah, so I'm gonna be well. I'll talk about that on the other stream. Sorry. Um, yeah, I think they fill the bags of rice by weight. I don't think they do it. I know they don't do
yeah,
it
it's
now.
all done by weight. It's not
Right.
done by quantity. It's kind of like when you go to if you
Okay.
go to a Whole Foods store and you you scoop shit out of the or scoop the food out of the bin, right? Or the product out of the bins. You weigh it out. You don't sit there and count how many freaking pieces of rice you actually got.
Okay. I'm gonna read Sumo Boy's comment. He
Okay.
said, "Sorry, I always buy black phones because they run faster."
Uh,
That came out of nowhere,
wow.
dude. I thought
That's
that was
funny.
funny,
That's
especially
funny.
with a TV on their shoulders. Oh, that was so funny. Sorry. That's okay. I like a good Italian joke too. So,
Chip is old
but
head.
I ain't got any offhand.
I'm getting really frustrated here. Like to have this.
Oh, Homer's got to run.
If
Homer's got to run.
I'm on 14 minutes ago, so I mean I'm not even caught up.
Yeah, I
Uh,
keep scrolling because he keeps forgetting it. Oh, there, it scrolled by itself.
purchase an illegal hat
Good
in
job, Rumble.
dark Chirac. Alleyway I'd price if the price was right. What? Do you think that Jimmy would buy or be tempted to purchase an illegal hat in a dark Chirac alleyway if the price was right? No, no.
When you buy your hats on the black market,
I bought this off the internet.
well, there you go.
I think I
Kind of
even
the
bought.
same thing.
I bought my Red Sox hat off the internet too, if I'm not mistaken. Uh,
Yeah, that was funny. Sumo Boy wrote that. You know, but I mean, it's all in fun. I mean, how do you spot a dead Italian in the ocean? You look for the oil slick. You know, it's
yeah,
everybody has their jokes.
yeah. It doesn't matter. I mean, uh,
I could tell you some more, but I'm not going to offend some people. I
explain
got
it.
some good ones. In fact, Junior can tell you one of them. It's the first bad joke I ever told him as a little boy. I said, "Hey, you want to hear a joke that you could never tell anybody?" That's how I started it. He goes, "Yeah, Dad." I'm like,
I'm
"Okay,
sure he went out and told everybody, right?
yeah," but I had to wait because the joke was for somebody that probably is not a toddler or a little boy because they wouldn't understand what you were talking about.
Yeah,
But later on, like 12, 13, kind of going through puberty age,
yeah.
yeah, that's
He
the joke.
understands things a little bit better.
It was so funny.
Double Bacon says, explain to me how the whole country voted for Trump.
Oh my God, that was 12 hours ago, dude.
Okay, well, here, I'll skip
Really?
everybody's comments and I'll go all the way to the end.
There we
Yeah,
go.
sorry if I missed
Catch up with
anybody's
everybody else.
if I missed anybody's comments off the light or dark web. What? See, now I have no clue what the hell they're talking about. Devers to the Giants, his ego was out of control. What?
Oh,
Did they
they're
really
talking
trade
baseball.
Devers to the Giants? No way.
Who's Devers?
He was on the
Your
Red
pitcher?
Sox.
Is he a pitcher?
No.
I
Damn it.
don't know.
I won't be getting that jersey.
Well, I don't watch baseball. Bores the frick out of me. I only went to Dodger games for the hot dogs.
See, I do that. Like, football's that way for me. I get bored
Really?
of football. Yeah.
You know what sucks about football? You
I
go
really
to the
get bored
game,
from basketball. Basketball is the worst.
you can't see anything. You watching the game, a football game, you see people tackling each other, you see a big pile of men, you see
Yeah.
absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
That's why
I mean, hockey's kind of the same way. Like, do you sit down
but
and
they
watch
get
hockey?
slammed and they
Like,
get
I don't see
slammed
how
into the glass.
I don't see how Carol watches freaking hockey. Like, where the fuck is the puck? Where's the puck? I can't even see the puck. All I see is these guys going up against the wall.
She freaking loves the Kings.
I know.
Like, humps their logo. I mean, she loves the Kings.
I just don't understand how. Like, don't get me wrong. I love hockey. It's fun to watch, but if it's much better if you go to a game than it is to watch it on TV. Because
love when
I
the
don't even
fights
see how the
break
camera
out.
is able to keep up with the puck. I mean, it's
I
like
know. It's crazy.
the puck is on the other side. Oh, the camera's still at the other goalie. Let's see. I think the chat feed you're seeing is top chat on. Oh, see, now it skipped. YouTube that
I
lags
know. I just saw it.
behind instead of the live chat that is immediate. No, on ours it's we see just live chat. We don't get to see top chat. It's completely live. But then if there's a delay going from YouTube over to Rumble, when it finally pulls all the messages over from YouTube, the chat will just jump.
So you talking to people on YouTube can't see it as in real time, the chat?
No, they're not watching it they're not technically watching it in real time.
But they're
I
chatting
can
in
look
real
over
time?
here on my Microsoft Surface,
Right.
and there's messages that haven't been fed through to
Got it. All right. Well, whatever. We'll try and keep up here.
Spicy question: why couldn't the leopard play hide and seek? Because he was always spotted. That's funny. Football players and hockey players should have to wear body cams like cops do so we can witness high impact athletic violence from their POV. That'd be kind of cool. Be like gladiator style, right?
Candy says she used to tie her papa's camcorder to her helmet. This is probably before GoPros.
I know that I was gonna say.
Could you imagine? Like, oh, get this camera on my head. It's like a 15-pound.
I mean, could you imagine if you were to fall or something like that? Oh my God, is the camera still working?
Well, you get a good shot of it.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Go through the cameras pretty quickly. They've made it legal.
Sorry about that.
What?
Much better.
I don't know if they've made it legal to kill in hockey games, but sport's still woke. Depends on the sport. Spicy and goof.
Michael Caine is so nice. You're all so nice, by the way. I'm just spotlighting her because she takes the time to answer people's questions. I appreciate that. Thank you. You explained the relationship between me and Jimmy. You explained why my show's called F as in Frank. You didn't have to do that. Thank you. That was nice of you.
Yeah.
Everybody else, you're nice too.
Flag football is woke too. I don't know. Is flag football woke?
No.
Junior does it, right?
Yeah. He's the furthest. if you follow him, he's the furthest thing from woke.
Oh yeah, by far.
Yeah. So
But I mean, if anybody's going to notice it, it'd be him, and he's not going to be quiet about it.
no, Jack Jr. is worse than I am, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
you've
I
seen,
wouldn't even say worse. I would say he's just more blunt
yeah,
about it.
he's more outspoken than I am. If you could imagine that, you can close your eyes and dream that up. That's him. You haven't seen him in a while, but no,
Oh no, I mean,
he's outspoken,
yeah.
way outspoken, and he's like my brother Charles. He don't care. He doesn't care. Like whatever. Which
Oh, I see what
I
Bacon's
can't
saying.
be like that. What?
He says they don't want the best players on the Olympic flag football team, which seems like it's DEI. Okay, for an Olympic team, that's a different story. That's completely different than a league. I think the Olympics is woke in itself. In
So is
itself.
the NFL and the NBA.
Yeah.
They're all woke. It's all. And by the way, guys, if being woke meant they couldn't increase
Yep.
profits,
Don't be sucking down the bottom.
I promise you, it's all for most people. Like in companies or sports, woke is about money. They're trying to get more money. That's it. Why do you think there's such a backlash from companies putting the the gay pride rainbow, which isn't theirs in the first place, but they use it in their logos, and this year they dropped it because of money. Had nothing to do with pride. Had nothing to do with conservative. It was about the almighty dollar. They didn't give a crap. If putting a dog turd in your logo would make you more money, they would do it. Serious. I'm telling you, companies only go with what's hot for money.
No, they're only going with what they're paid for.
Yep.
I mean,
If
it
it'll
doesn't
make
matter.
you
I
more.
mean, if they're getting paid from an out or from a third party, they don't care what they push. They really don't. As
Right.
long as they're getting paid, they're receiving money from it. They'll do it.
It's all
I mean,
about the
that's
dollar.
just the nature of business in general. I mean, if you advertise something, they're only advertising it to get people to buy it, and they're only going to advertise that if people will buy it,
Right.
unless they're getting paid from somewhere else. It's just that simple.
Hey, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
That new Superman movie, gonna blow? Gonna suck?
I'm not really looking forward to it. I'll put it that way.
All right. And should I should I go further? Should I ask you why?
Um, well, I mean, there's a couple of reasons. Um, I don't. I think was it the
I'm setting you up here.
crypto
Knock it out.
crypto the dog should have stayed in comics. They didn't need to bring it into the movie.
I'm okay with the dog.
Um,
The dog's okay.
yeah, it's just corny to me. And then the fact that they sidelined Henry Cavill is
Yeah.
another one for
And
me.
they got rid of a guy who looks like Superman to hire this pansy looking dude.
Well, I mean, he does have the Superman look and a much younger, like he looks like a college age Clark Kent, if that makes sense. I mean,
He
obviously
looks like a
Cavill looks
DEI hire. Let's be
Henry
honest.
Cavill looks much older. He doesn't look like like college age. You know, he looks like he's in his late 20s, early 30s.
Well, he's still getting roles. He just got hired for another movie.
Oh yeah, he's got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Superman cast.
What's he doing? What's the next movie he's doing? Isn't he doing the remake of the reboot of Highlander? Was that it?
Yeah, he's doing a reboot of Highlander.
Yep.
I think he's still working on Warhammer 30K or 40K.
40K. That's going to be great. That's a big gamer movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be huge.
There was something else he's working on
Such
too.
an underground following.
Oh,
Warhammer.
wow, they got Nathan Fillion playing Green Lantern in the Superman movie. I may have to watch it just because of that.
Really?
They've got Bradley Cooper playing Jor-El. Are you kidding me? You're going from Russell Crowe to Bradley Cooper. That's crazy.
You know what's crazy is I didn't know Green Lantern was in the movie. I didn't know anybody else was in the movie because
Who's
they
that?
never show you.
Rachel Brosnahan?
What?
Rachel Brosnahan. She's going to be Lois Lane. I've seen her somewhere. Okay. Maybe not. She looks kind of like from The Departed. She looks kind of like that girl.
Right. Did you hear rumors of Ryan Reynolds not playing Deadpool
Deadpool?
in the next movie?
No, I didn't. I mean, I think I heard
I
something about
heard
it,
something about that.
but
I thought,
I thought it was.
frick that, I'll not go. If
I think it
Ryan
was just
Reynolds, he
a joke.
mastered Deadpool. Mastered.
Oh
Literally
yeah,
had it
you're not
down.
gonna be able. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to replace
No.
Ryan
If they
Reynolds.
do, I refuse to go see it. I won't see it. I'll talk bad about it. I'll do whatever. I'll protest. That's it. I don't care if I get run
Snoozy
over
says
by a car. I'm
woke.
protesting.
Snoozy says woke Soiper man.
What?
Woke Soiper man.
He's a soy boy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Highlander.
okay. So
Warhammer
you
40
guys, all you guys in the chat are
is
in
woke.
a mood. You guys are spot on today.
There's supposed to be a pretty explicit sex scene in the new Superman film, and you'll never guess who's in it. Uh-oh. Well, I know it's not
So,
going to be Henry Cavill.
so wait a minute. So in the Superman movie, so
Yeah.
like, is Superman giving the super meat to Lois Lane? I don't know.
Maybe it's Lex
Maybe.
Luthor. Could be Lex Luthor.
I don't know. Knowing the woke agenda, he may be just giving it to the dog. I don't know.
Snoozy says Biden phone startup times vary.
That's so funny, guys.
Or
Stop it.
how about
Stop writing these funny comments.
the talk windows are short?
2 minutes till the Tim Pool alarm. I can watch Tim Pool.
No.
I got him on.
I got another hour.
Oh, for Tim Pool.
Yeah, Tim Pool's on at was it 8 p.m. Eastern time?
Well, let's make sure we are off by then. So
Really? Jimmy Olsen and two girls in the sex scene. Who's playing
Really?
Jimmy Olsen?
Great.
I don't see. Oh wow, they got Millie Alcock as Supergirl. Man, they're just bringing all the freaking characters into it, aren't they?
In the Superman movie,
Skylar Gisondo is playing Jimmy Olsen.
you know, I find that kind of weird because they literally if that many characters are being talked about and they're good characters, why is it not in the trailer?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still not going to go see it.
Yeah,
because
I mean they've got Michael Rooker is going to be in it.
See, nobody even knows this.
Wendell Pierce. Okay, so you know the guy from Jack Ryan?
Yeah.
The black guy?
Yeah.
He's going to be Perry White.
Got it. Is that a joke?
Okay, did you ever see
is Perry White black?
No, he's not supposed to be, but it's one of those
they made Perry White black.
Yeah,
he's called White.
Like in the one with Henry Cavill, it was Lawrence Fishburne was.
I just find it funny. That's all.
You remember the movie Identity?
Yeah, with
was it
Jim Caviezel or something?
No, Identity.
No, then I probably don't.
John Cusack, Ray Liotta, Amanda Peet.
No, I don't remember it.
Okay. Well,
sorry.
It's the movie where he's They're all stuck in this hotel in the storm. They get stranded in this hotel
Oh, wait a
together.
minute. Was that?
They're trying to keep the criminal or the
I think I do remember that. Yes.
okay. So remember the guy that had that weird lazy eye that they were doing an
Oh, yeah,
interview?
me.
No, not you.
Me.
Uh, that's the only thing I can think of this guy being in.
Sorry.
Um,
I don't remember the actors. I only remember the
yeah,
story of it
Steve
was
Hyden
storming.
and
They were stuck
Constantine.
in a hotel room.
Well, anyway, this guy, um, he's gonna be what's his name? Jonathan Kent in Superman.
Big
Totally
deal.
does not look like Jonathan Kent. Nothing like, say, oh my God, who was it? Kevin
I don't,
Costner.
I don't know. You've gone down a rabbit hole I've never been down.
Well, Kevin Costner was Jonathan Kent in the last Superman movie with Henry Cavill.
Who was who was the guy that rode a motorcycle and was on fire?
That's Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider. That's what I'm waiting for. A reboot of Ghost Rider.
They did a really good TV show with him,
I
even though they
know.
didn't
Well, I
use
wanted to
the.
come back.
See, they did a race swap because he's Latino in the TV series, but they didn't use like the typical characters, right? They didn't use Dan Ketch or what was the other guy's name? But anyway, they didn't use the normal characters that
Right.
became Ghost Rider, right?
Right.
They used a whole nother character or a whole nother storyline and character that became Ghost Rider after his death and the death of his brother or something like that.
Are you caught up with Daredevil? Have you watched it all?
I have not watched the new on
Crap.
Disney Plus.
Great. Never mind. I
I
was
need
going to talk to you
I
about
need to,
that.
but I don't have Disney Plus, so I can't
Okay.
watch.
For those of you who are caught up with never mind. I'll ruin if I talk about it. I'll tell you later. All right. I
King
wanted
says
to talk
Ray
about
Liotta had actual ties to Epstein's list. Well, he's gone now, so I guess it
yeah.
really doesn't matter. But
So it
you don't
doesn't
have
matter
to
what
ruin
he
our
did
freaking
now.
childhood for us, all right?
He's been punished.
Yeah, you got the
He's
ultimate
gone.
punishment. Uh,
I
Hollywood
wish
needs to
Jimmy
stop
was in
unaliving people.
movies.
That is true.
Huh?
Redlow says Hollywood needs to stop unaliving people.
What does that mean? Oh, got it. Never mind. I'm sorry. I looked at it
Too
and
friendly.
I get it. Yeah, that's right. We're trying not to get him banned. But yeah, Hollywood needs to stop. Everybody needs to stop killing people. It's like, well, I don't like the way that person voted, so we're just going to take him out. They
Yeah,
caught that guy, by the way.
yeah, I know. They
I think
caught
that
that
wasn't that today?
guy. I think it was yesterday.
Oh, yesterday? Yeah, they
Yeah, 'cause
got
I
the guy
remember
that
hearing
killed
about it
those
yesterday.
Minnesota Democrats
Uh,
because they voted against Democrats. So they got whacked. Well, that's great. Make sure Democrats don't vote any other way. You just insured it. So
yeah,
I
did you
think
see
he's
Taylor
getting.
Swift
I
was
think
at
he's getting the
the
death
Stanley
penalty.
Cup Finals?
Are you for the death penalty?
I'm iffy on it.
You're
I'm iffy
what?
on it. Like if it was proven that they took a life, then yes.
If it was an accident, that's different. But you
Yeah,
purposely
if
go
it
up to
was an
somebody and
accident.
kill them.
Like if it was malicious, like say somebody like uh which I don't even know if this is completely true, but like who is it? Timothy McVeigh, the Oklahoma City bomber, right?
That was a long time ago, dude.
It was. It was a
You
long
just
time ago.
you just dated
But
yourself,
I think he's still alive, to be honest.
right?
I don't think he's dead.
But listen, if you purposely kill somebody, that's different. If you accidentally kill somebody because of your stupidity or
Oh
something,
wait, no, he is dead.
that's totally he is.
Yeah,
Did they kill him
in
or
2001. I don't know.
did he get the death penalty or did he die of
Uh,
natural causes? I freaking don't even know. Same goes for Harry Dean. Proof the shooter was a Democrat. No. Gatsby, we're not talking about the shooter being a Democrat. Tim Walz chose the shooter in like a political
Actually, I think he
office.
was Democrat.
He knew Tim Walz, who was a Democrat.
Because well,
He
Tim
shot the
Walz
Democrats
appointed
because they
him.
voted against
Tim Walz
Democrats.
had appointed him for something.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a big relationship there. And for what we're hearing, they had a physical relationship. So there you go. There
Yes,
was no
Timothy
proof the
McVeigh was
shooter was a
sentenced to the
Democrat.
death penalty and
Had nothing to do
executed
with
by.
it. Nobody knows whether he was just sleeping with a Democrat. So
So it says yes,
anyway,
Timothy McVeigh was sentenced to the death penalty and executed by lethal injection in 2001.
okay. Oh, are you guys going to?
Or at least so they say. I've actually seen these. Was it? There was a video somebody made that there's somebody in politics that looks just like Timothy McVeigh, just
Really?
older. Yeah.
So you think he's still alive? Is that another
Yeah.
conspiracy, dude? We got too many already going.
It was a video I watched and it said that it's just for entertainment purposes and all that kind of stuff. But
It's
I
so
mean, if you look at the
stupid.
freaking videos and they do
They slide
like
the
a,
face over,
yeah,
and
they do that slide the face and then they do like they take the eyes
they've
and move it
seen
over
that.
to the eyes and they all match up and it's like, holy cow, that's
So
crazy.
Tom Myers brought up a good thing. Trump is allowing illegal aliens who work on farms to stay in our country.
Uh,
The rule is if the farmer can vouch for them, they've worked there 15, 20 years, they've earned their keep, they're nothing to worry about, not a problem, no criminal record. Yes, they can stay. Same with restaurants, I think. I'm
are
starting
you
to
okay
hear,
with that?
am I okay with that?
Yeah.
If
Do you
they've
agree
been
with
here
that?
15 years, they've earned their keep, and they're not a criminal, sure, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
They've proven, but everybody who crossed the border, they're all criminals. And they've been raping children, they've been killing people. There's lots of stories of the illegal aliens came across, and now total mayhem, totally. But that's a whole nother. I mean, we could be here all day.
Oh yeah, I could go into a lot of different like historical references about California not being part of Mexico and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Let's see. Redlow, yes, that is. From what I'm
Yeah,
hearing,
so
that
Michael
is
says
correct.
Tim Walz appointed him in 2019 to a state board.
Right, and I believe they have had relations. So anyway, I mean,
Did they have relations?
what?
You say they
Yeah,
had relations?
they screwed around. They were
Wow,
freaky. Come
wow,
on, Tim jams a tampon up his butt. He is freaky.
that's possible.
He says tampons put a
Tim
pep in
Walz
his
was
step.
well acquitted with
That's
Ryan
so
Dunn,
gross.
affiliate of Bam
I
Margera,
know a pit bull that will put a pep in his step.
with ties to the Epstein links. Makes you think about who else is involved. Yeah, if they ever drop the files, Jesus. Tim Walz is kind of a fella to say, "Teehee, excuse me," after farting.
Say again.
Sumo Boy says Tim Walz is the kind of feller that would say, "Teehee, excuse me," after farting, like
Stop
giggle
it.
after he farts.
Yeah. And he shoots his
Uh,
tampon across the room.
yeah, right.
Gross.
Remember when they made up Tim Walz's son as if he was mentally handicapped, but then on TikTok now he's totally normal. Yeah. They should be compelled to pay back taxes. Yeah, I agree with that. They should be compelled to pay back taxes. Yeah. Because, I mean, a lot of these people that are working on the farms that have been here for 15, 20 years, they may have been uh, paid under the table. So then that way they don't have to pay taxes on them. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well,
I'm
that's
not doing
one
an
of the
investigation
reasons, no
in it, so I
lie.
don't know for sure.
Coming from California, I knew this for a fact. That's one of the reasons California loved it, because all these illegals would work, they'd pay their taxes, they would never claim them because they were illegal. They couldn't. In California, you got to keep all that money.
Yeah.
Millions a year, billions. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
That's why the illegals were okay in California, because they were making so much money. Once again, the almighty dollar. Crazy. Way crazy. Oh, and by the way, those Democrats that were killed is because they voted against giving illegals free medical coverage.
Failure to comply is deportation. Yeah, I would agree with that. If you're not going to pay taxes on what you've made or what they've or the farmer, I guess it's the farm hands,
Right,
um, not willing to pay taxes on that kind or that labor.
right.
I mean, that's tough. The only reason I would even say that they should be forced to pay taxes is because everybody else is, and I think it should stay fair. Now, I don't think anyone should have to pay taxes other than local tax.
Okay, so let's be clear about this. Certain Hispanics have lived here 15, 20 years. Their work is here, their entire life is here. They have roots here. Okay. Somebody who just walked across the border, just like last week, last month, last year. Okay. Illegally, that's a different type of illegal. I totally
No,
agree with him. You know, it's
I still
funny because
see
you
them in the
guys are like,
picture.
well, don't deport him, don't deport him. The moment he allows Hispanics to stay under certain conditions, now it's like, oh, really?
Oh,
No, they should go home.
that's the
Really?
loophole. That's the loophole. They'll all claim that they've been here for so long.
He can, but no, but the farmer has to vouch for them.
Well, yeah, but
That's
are you
all.
going to buy the farmer's word if he's got the cheap labor?
Well, as long as he's got like he's responsible for his workers. I promise you, he'll be sued if the workers do anything that should be done. They'll
I
go
don't know.
after it.
My personal opinion, I'd say send them all home. If you're illegal, it doesn't matter if you've been here for 1 week or 10 years. I don't care.
Yeah, but
Send
people
them home.
who just crossed the border last year, okay, they still they still can go back to the life they had, whatever it was. Okay, the people who've been here 15, 20 years, you're going to put them in a land they don't exist. There's nothing there. There's nobody they know. It's
A lot of them
completely different,
do. A lot of them still have family. Like I knew
right?
someone. I knew someone that was here for over a decade. They still have
So
family back in Mexico.
I understand that, but everybody they associate with and live with their whole life is built here. People came last year; they're still building their life here in America. They're trying they're trying to hide first,
Well,
but
I mean, I would agree that anybody that's been here for over a decade, I would say they're not your priority,
right,
but I wouldn't say that they're off the table. But definitely get the people that have only been here for the past 4 years, take them first.
right.
I mean,
I
there is a hierarchy to priority, you know. Uh, Jimmy, yeah, there'd be a whole lot more jobs, Paulin. He says Jimmy wants to absolutely explode our agriculture industry. Can you imagine what would happen if our country, if every single illegal was deported?
wait. Once
I got
again,
I got a
don't
solution for that. I got a solution for that. Remember what we were talking about? The SAG-AFTRA
right,
strike? All those people that are out of work because they can't get jobs voicing video game content or whatever they're doing.
right.
We have a job for them. They can go into agriculture.
That's right. And you know what's funny? All you pro immigrant, illegal immigrant people in the chat, I guarantee I go to your house right now and you haven't taken one in. You haven't given a dollar. You haven't done anything but complain. I guarantee it.
I mean, some people are out on the streets. I don't know.
No, no, no. I guarantee they haven't taken anybody in.
Oh, I'm
I
sure they have
guarantee they
it right
haven't
now.
given money. So give
They're
some
looking at
money,
people crying, and
take them
they're
in, and then
pulling on
I'll
their
applaud
heartstrings.
you and I'll acknowledge you.
Around.
But until then, you sit here in your warm house with plenty of food on the table. Oh no, the illegal immigrants should be treated like.
Apple Farms.
Don't open your mouth. You haven't paid into it. You haven't supported them in any way. You could do it right now. Take them in. Yeah, that's what I thought. And by the way, the killer in Minnesota,
Yeah,
I
see,
did never said he was a Democrat.
that's what I hear.
Tim Walz is a
Redlow.
Democrat.
Redlow says, I feel like woke farmers are going to vouch for a lot of people. I agree.
Yeah, I can see your point.
Tim,
For some reason, they have it stuck in their head in the chat room that I said the killer was a Democrat. I never go back and watch the video. I never claimed he was a Democrat. He was a freaking killer. That was it. I claimed he killed. He pretended to be a cop. He knew Tim, and what I'm hearing, they were in a relationship.
well, he was
Or
appointed as a, was it? They said it in the chat. He was appointed
so
for
it doesn't
something.
really freaking matter. He's a killer now. He's not a politician.
Yeah, but it's not really whether he did or didn't do it. It's more about the.
Oh no, he did it.
It's like
We're
the
positive he did it.
follow the money kind of thing, right?
Right.
Where did it come from? Where did it
Who
stem from?
paid him to do it, or why did he do it?
Yeah. What was the motivation behind
I'm
it?
sure he'll flip. We'll find out in the next few days.
Yeah, we'll find out.
When death sentence is pulled off the table because he tells everything and proves everything.
It turns
But
state's evidence.
yeah, he can't listen. He can't say, "Well, Tim asked me to." No, that ain't gonna work. You better have proof that Tim paid you, that you have recorded phone call, whatever. I mean, you can't even trust that anymore. So it's almost impossible to prove. That's got to be tough in court.
California. Yep. Spiciest drink they got her. Oh. Should we arrest the farmers who employ illegals?
What?
I don't think you would have to go as far as it.
We haven't arrested the restaurants that employ illegals. Why would we arrest the farmers?
I don't think. See, I don't even wouldn't even say we need to arrest them. I do think that they should pay a fine.
Well, I think
restitution for the people that were put out of a job because they employed somebody that was cheap labor. You know what I mean? I think he targeted those politicians.
Why?
I don't know about that. I don't think that's.
I wouldn't even say that they're
standing, but I don't know. I don't look that much into it.
Tim's a tool, man. That's funny.
Undocumented workers are backbone of farming industry. Gatsby says undocumented workers are backbone of farming industry. I wouldn't go that far. I mean, yeah, it's, but I wouldn't say that they haven't done good for the country as far as the farming industry or agriculture industry, but you're missing the point when you say something like that. The whole reason we got rid of slavery was so we didn't have cheap labor. I mean, that's their workaround, you know. Why would you pay somebody $20 an hour to pick strawberries, for example?
Wait a minute.
And when you can pay illegal $5 an hour, you know, how right is that's not right. That's
wait, Jimmy, you used to serve tables, right?
Huh?
You used to serve tables.
Yes.
Right? How much you get an hour? In Tennessee.
In Tennessee, it was what, $2.14 an hour?
Okay. Let's worry about that. Let's worry about Americans making slave wages. Let's work on that. Then we can discuss illegals. But two and change an hour, that is, I think slaves got paid better than that.
Yeah.
They got fed, room and board, clothing, way more
Well,
than
here, and then
$2
it
an
also
hour.
it kind of points to, like, okay, as a server in Tennessee, you're paid and change an hour, right? So you're technically supposed to live off tips. Is basically what they're trying to do, but
Sorry.
not all servers were paid the same. You know, not all servers were able to make $200 a day. Some could, especially if you're bartending, you could make $200 a day. Um, how is that? How is that fair? It's not, especially from a democratic point of view. It's not
And
fair.
I don't know why when I moved here, I heard that. I did never my whole life knew that like in California, they made minimum wage
Yeah.
as a server.
Well, yeah.
But when I got out here, they made below minimum wage and I was blown away. And I think they have been like take a waitress in Applebee's in California. They're making good money. Come out here, they're making two and change.
Yeah.
What
Their
the
out
same company
their
is taking
paycheck
advantage.
doesn't even justify their being there.
Yeah, it's so let's I mean, you guys, maybe you don't know, maybe you didn't know, I didn't know, but yeah, they're allowed to pay two and change because they work off tips. I'm like, are you freaking kidding? Tammy used to serve tables too, but only in California, and she always made minimum wage. But Jimmy, he made peanuts. He had to get tips.
Yeah.
He wasn't guaranteed to make money. He wasn't. So like
Yeah.
sometimes he'd make
You
enough
could do
money.
all the work at a restaurant and still only make less than minimum wage.
That's criminal.
Yeah.
Guys, that should be addressed over illegals. Okay? Let's fix the legals first. Let's give them living wages. Okay? And then we can talk illegals, making the system better and quicker. In fact, it takes forever to become a legal immigrant. It does. This, from what I've heard, I've talked to a lot of my Hispanic friends that came here illegally in California, and it took them a long time to get that paperwork, study, take the test. It, forever. It was so bad. You need to fix the system. If people want to live in America, that's fine, but follow the rules. There is no other country I can just
See,
waltz
okay,
in.
there.
Yeah.
Gatsby's bringing up points. For one, I don't think we should be rounding people up unless they have committed a crime. Just coming into the country is a crime. That's the whole reason why it's called illegal.
No, no,
Um,
no. Gatsby crimes are different. No, I'm just being sarcastic.
but then she also points out, good luck getting a white American to do hard labor for $3.50 an hour. That's the point.
That is a
You
good
don't
point.
you don't point or you don't pay anybody, whether they're here legally or illegally, three
That's a
fifty an
good
hour.
point, by the way. Gatsby, more than $3.50 an hour. That's what it should be.
There
Living
should be a standard
wages.
base of living pay or standard base of living wage.
I guarantee the farmers have raised their prices 10 times in 5 years.
I think every single person should be able to afford a home, should be able to afford standard everyday living. I'm not talking about going above and beyond and saying
Just food
they
and
should be able to
shelter.
afford Netflix and uh, Disney Plus
Yeah,
or
screw that. Read a book.
cell phone companies or cell phone. They shouldn't have these kind of luxuries. Those are luxuries.
They
They are
should be able
not
to survive, though.
necessities. They should be able to afford, or every single person that's willing to work should
I
be able to
agree.
make enough to earn enough to house themselves, feed themselves, and clothe themselves, and keep
Now,
insurance.
flipping a burger for $20 an hour in California, that's ridiculous.
It's
Flipping
done.
a burger, what?
It is done,
I know. That's ridiculous.
and that's
So,
what's even crazier.
yeah.
You can make more money
Flipping a
flipping
burger
burgers
than you
or
can serving a table.
cooking fries at Chick-fil-A or In-N-Out than you can serving a table.
That's
Where you're
pathetic.
doing full service, not just freaking, you know,
If I was in
making sure.
California, I'd be flipping burgers, guys. With my one arm, I'd flip burgers. I wouldn't care. $20 an hour, that's good pay. That's decent. I wouldn't say it's
Well,
good. I'd
it
say
was
it's
good
decent.
pay back then, back before COVID,
Right.
and they were making it that back then too. We have the largest prison population in the world. Send them to the fields. There you go. There you go. That's outside the box thinking. If we have such a large prison population, make them do the
Yeah,
agriculture.
most of them are picking up trash. Let's be real. We've seen it
Yeah,
on the
but I mean,
side of
could
the
you
freeway.
imagine if you put them in the agriculture field?
They are doing things. If you go in, for example, the women's prison that I volunteer at, they're training dogs, like canine dogs,
Really?
seeing eye dogs, everything. They have different levels of training, but yeah, certain inmates are allowed to do training. They they make things in
Not even just
jail.
that. I mean, and that's almost like what is it called? A rehabilitation in a sense, right?
Oh,
Because when they get
it's such
out,
a such an honor to train those dogs. They fight
well,
to train those dogs.
not even just that. I mean, think about it. I mean, even once they're released, they've served their time.
Right.
They now have a valuable skill that they can bring to society.
So I don't know if you know this, but there was a lady coming out of women's prison that we walked with. Tammy and I.
Okay.
We're still close friends. She got released. She'd been in for a while. It was the most amazing thing I've ever done. Walking with somebody who just got out of prison. It was eye opening. It was incredible. There was good, there was bad, there was it tons of stuff. But it's the best thing I've ever done. It was one of the best things.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
I wouldn't trade that in for the
I believe it.
we still hang out. We still visit her.
So also says they don't need to be taken in; they have places to live. And somebody else said the same
Yeah,
thing.
we're footing the
Double
bill,
bacon.
guys. Let's be
Double bacon
real.
says,
They're being put in hotels
or
and
I'm
we're
sorry,
footing
not
the
double
bill.
bacon. My bad. Duck's rule says, Jack, most illegals aren't homeless. No, they're not. We're paying for it.
Yeah, because we put them in
Taxpayers
hotels.
are paying for them to be in hotels. We're paying for
Are we
apartment
the only ones?
complexes.
Are we the only ones that get internet? Are we the only ones that read the news and what's going on and how they're being treated and where they're staying, what phones they're talking on, how much money we're paying per week? Are we the only ones with that information?
Food stamp cards, the whole nine
Literally,
yards. I mean, who do you think
guys,
funds all this stuff?
we're paying billions a day to house these people, or we were. I believe it's done with now.
Oh
And
yeah,
you
now
and
that
you know
Trump's
what? You
in
never
office.
brought that up. You never once said anything about it. That was okay for you. I'm like, okay. So how is it you complain about one thing, but something else equally as stupid you don't bring up at all? Don't be one-sided, guys. Please don't. Okay? We have great conversations, but don't say, well, we should, we should we should do this and that and that. We should let them stay. All right. Well, how about we should stop paying their bills? How about we should stop putting money in their pocket? How about you
There you
breathe?
go, Michael.
Yeah, it's
Michael
crazy.
says, yeah, slave owners tend to hate it when you take away their slaves.
Hmm.
Exactly.
There's a
I
lot of
mean,
that.
it's already been done before. We've already seen this in history.
Right.
When blacks were slaves, you took away the slaves and made them legal citizens. You know, they wrote or revolted. It's already been done. What do you think is going on right now? Anytime slavery is involved and you're trying to eliminate slavery, there's going to be
What do
fighting.
you think would happen if you walked into somebody's house? Just walk into your neighbor's house. Start eating out of his refrigerator. Just take a seat on his couch. What do you think? How long would that last? A minute? An hour? 2 hours? They'd ask you to leave. They would call police. They'd have you removed out of their house. How is that any different? Oh, That was a good one. How is that any different, guys? Walking in your neighbor's house. How is that any different entering illegally?
Why are woke Democrat
Yeah.
farmers trying to keep illegals in the country? That's easy. They want the cheap labor. They want the slave labor. Tim's a tool man. Slave owners tend to be hated when you take away their slaves. What was the other one? My parents have had their roof replaced. Oh,
Sumo boy,
comes to
you're
men.
still making me laugh. I would never be an ICE agent. I would never be president because that's like the worst job in the world right now. There isn't a kid in America that goes, Daddy, when I grow up, I'm going to be president. Not one kid. Not after what's been going on
Sumo, there's
for
no
years.
tattoos for me to show you, guy. Sorry.
Yeah, that.
I have a friend who owns a landscaping and ditch digging company. He says the undocumented workers are hardworking. He says the Caucasian guys tend to be lazy bums who just want to play Marvel Rivals. Well, I mean, there's probably truth to that, but we've also fostered a culture to where that exists. If we didn't have that predominantly a priority, you know.
Wait, and here's another question. Here's a great question for you guys. You want to take care of the illegals. You think they're being mistreated. Okay. Why should they get money and not Americans who are starving? Not Americans that need the money too. Why would you take food out of your child's mouth, walk across the street, and give the food to somebody else? That's what you're doing? We have to take care of our own first. That should be a concern of yours. Because I know, and this is probably the worst feeling in the world, for worst thought in the world, excuse me. I know people are going to bed hungry. I can't, that bothers me. I think about that. What you got there?
Holland says, yes, in a split Minnesota House, Tim wanted Democrats to be killed. What sense does that make? Well, it's because those Democrats voted the other way.
They voted
If we
Republican. They voted against
if we
giving
haven't learned,
immigrants
if we've
health
learned
care.
anything out of everything, is that even the Democrats will eat their own.
Yeah, we learned that now. They voted against what the Democrats were voting for.
Well, look at what happened with, say, Tulsi Gabbard and or RFK.
Yep.
It's just obvious that they're going to, sideline or even attack their own.
It's crazy. So they're dead, and their spouses are dead.
Guys, did you know it was actually the Republicans who freed black people?
Yep.
That's
I
true.
knew that. I
It's a
knew that.
fact.
Yeah. I think my brother Charles told me that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that until he brought it up.
Doorknob Scalpani.
Yep. Got to get one of those in every week.
What does Gatsby saying?
Okay, but when he has a real name, we're done joking about it. We're going to use.
I'll be running.
What? Hey, Google, shut up. Everybody's smart. Smart devices just went off.
100% right. No.
I don't know why Google's all talking
sorry.
back to me.
I disagree.
What?
I was saying it. Somebody said someone else was 100% right. I disagree. Different opinion. Automation robots don't pee on the field produce. That leads to massive food recalls and billion-dollar losses. Let's go full steam ahead with automation. It may come to that. Honestly, it may come to that. Looks how much agriculture comes from California. See how much California relies on undocumented immigrants. What? I don't understand your statement. Looks how much agriculture comes from California.
Pin the comment. I don't see it.
Huh?
Pin the comment. I don't see it. Okay, go ahead.
It doesn't read properly.
She's saying California relies on undocumented immigrants. Okay, they've had plenty of time to get documented, most of them.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. I mean,
Honestly. Yeah, they've been here for 15 years. What the frick? Do
I
your
mean,
job. Get the paperwork done.
like okay, if you were to get a job that says I need like okay, for example, in serving, right?
Yeah,
Serving tables. We'll go back to that.
that's a
In serving tables in Tennessee, you have to have a what is it called? An ABC card to be able to serve alcohol, right? A
you
food
do?
handler's card.
Right.
Yes. So if you don't get that, you get 60 days.
I
I
didn't know
believe it
that.
is. You get 60 days to, I think it's 60. It could be up. God, I don't remember. It's been a couple of years, but nonetheless, you get so much time to get the ABC card while you're employed. Now, if you fail to do that, they can keep working you, but restaurants are supposed to keep up on that. And if you don't have that, they're not supposed to put you on the schedule. They're supposed to remove you from the schedule in order to get or until you get your card. And I know because I've had friends that didn't have their card and they had to go get it before they put them back on the schedule. So I know, if I've got 60 days to go get a card and I go get my card, what about illegal immigrants? You've got how many years after 15 and you still don't have your legalization? I'm sorry. That's a failure on your part or their part, not my part.
That's just an observation. That's not
Yeah.
why they should be sent home or anything. That's just why have you been here 15 years and not taking care of business?
Yeah.
That's all.
If it's something you need in order to stay here and continue
I
working,
know.
why
I
aren't you
know.
doing it?
I know.
And it's not like getting legalization is difficult. The test is freaking a 5-year-old could freaking pass the test.
It it's it's okay. I haven't heard it's hard, but I haven't heard it's easy. You just got to study for it. And you can get that information off the internet and you can practice. There's practice tests and all that. So anyway,
I hope
listen,
people
I
actually
gotta
believe
skedaddle out of here, dude.
Okay.
Are you gonna hang out for a little bit?
Oh yeah. I'm
All
gonna
right.
try to get through these freaking comments.
So guys, keep the comments going. They're scrolling like crazy. Um, appreciate
It
chatting
is.
with you.
'Cause
Always do.
it was
All
like
right.
2 minutes and now it's 17 minutes. Like, oh my God.
I know you're way behind, dude. You're always 15 hours behind the chat. All right.
Well, we
Love
get
you guys.
get into
Love you,
discussing the
Jimmy.
topic and or their question or whatever, and then people keep posting comments as we're sitting there talking about it. So it's uh, easy to fall behind.
Well, I'm all caught up. I will see you guys later.
All
Take care.
righty, we'll see you Saturday.
Later, bro.
Later. All right. Hope you don't actually believe slaves had better lives than servers. I'm gonna pin that while I go fix this. Oh crap. Let's go back. All right. So I hope you don't actually believe slaves had better lives than servers. I wouldn't say better lives, but I'd say they definitely they both had rough lives. I'll put it that way. They definitely have both have rough lives. Medieval peasants had more time off and more paid time off than the average worker today. That is exactly true. But at the same time, you really didn't have to do a whole lot back then. Michael, I would say back in medieval times, it wasn't difficult to have a home. You know, if you could build a house on proper or anywhere, it was yours. You didn't have to, you know, give your life savings to get a house. You're primarily focused on farm or your small farm or your uh, making money in order to, buy food from the farmers. It was more direct. There wasn't a third party intervening into the, like now we have grocery stores and we have uh, markets and stuff like that, and it's not direct with those producing the product like it was back then. Jack's water bottle always makes it look like he's drinking a Four Loko. Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. Tom Myers, how much was the phone? What did Tom Myers say about a phone? Oh, I don't know. Let's see. Agreed. Jack, let's take care of America first. I agree. Do you two believe in slavery? No, I do not. Waiters get paid minimum wage if they don't hit it with tips. It depends on the state that you're serving in. In Tennessee, if you don't make a certain amount in tips, there's I can't remember what the rule is, but there is a rule that they have to pay you based off your tips and hourly to meet a certain, or I think it's $7.50 or $7.25, something like that. And if you don't make that, then they'll, I guess, compensate you for the difference. But still, think about this. Most servers work 20 to 30 hours a week tops. You're not working a 40-hour job. And even at minimum wage, which in Tennessee, it's federal minimum wage, and federal minimum wage is $7.25, I think. I'll even look it up right now for you. Federal minimum wage. Yes, it is currently $7.25 an hour. So if you figure $7.25 here, I'll even do the math. Jesus, why does the calculator gotta be so big? All right, so $7.25 times, let's just be generous and say 30 hours. You're only making about $220 a week, roughly, before taxes. Now, if you take taxes out of that, you're looking about, I'd say, 20%? So if you say you get 80% of your income, that's $174 a week. And if you multiply that by 4, you're looking at $700 a month. How many of you can live off $700 a month? That's not even livable wages. And you could even argue that, Tom. American waiters have worse than black slaves, because at least black slaves had a place to live that was provided by their slave owners. They were fed, unlike the average freaking server. Because most restaurants will still make you pay for your own food. You don't get it for free. Alaskans still have slaves, but only in Inuit circles. Interesting. I've never heard of that, but not saying it doesn't exist. I'm not familiar with it. Jack, would you bring slavery back? No. It's for Jack. I agree, servers should be paid more, but it's not slavery or compatible to slavery. Okay, so it's modern day slavery. I'll put it that way. Because back then they didn't own property. They didn't own anything really. They didn't, but they had all their needs met for the most part. And it wasn't always like whips and chains and all that kind of stuff. It was they had a workforce, essentially. It just happens that they owned the people that they worked for, or that worked for them. Nowadays, you still own nothing and get paid less than a living wage. So how's that not slavery? Hell, I would even say even if you make a decent wage, you're still a slave. You're still a slave to the system, because they'll still increase everything that you need if you make more. This podcast has jumped the shark. I wish I was. Are you being hyperbolic or sarcastic there, Paulin? Trump brings back slave auctions. No. Okay, now we're kind of being ridiculous. Imagine ego boost if you're bought first at a slave auction. Spicy take. That's funny. They worked at Jack in the Box, slept there, bathed, the whole nine. Jimmy, thank you for your service. You should be compensated for what you did for our country. And that's another thing. Like, even in the military, I mean, here, in the Marine Corps, I believe I was making $700 to $800 a month, but that was E1 back in '96, I think it was. Let's see, Marine Corps E1 pay. Oh wow, they've gone up a lot. Okay, so an E1 currently makes $2,000 a month. Well, I take that back. It probably wasn't exactly 700. I think I made 700 every paycheck, which would probably be about $1,400 a month, 1,500, something like that. But even such, an E1, which is a private, right? It's the lowest you can be, which everybody starts off as for the most part. It's still $2,000 a month. That's not, I mean, granted, in the military, when you're a young kid at 19 years old, you're making $2,000 a month, and you got your barracks paid for, you got your food paid for, because chow's free when you're in the military, or at least in the Marine Corps, it was free. And they fed you 3 times a day. Then your money was pretty much just for other essential things like haircuts and upkeep of your uniform. If you wanted to, you can get a cell phone or whatever the case may be. Anything that was extra or beyond your essential needs. Well, I mean, you could even argue that some things like haircut and all that kind of stuff is essential in the military, but it was definitely something that you paid for out of your pocket. But so $2,000 is quite a bit, even though I still think it's quite low. If you're already married and already have a kid by the time you go in, it's not living or not livable by any standard. But then they do make certain exceptions for people that are married and have kids. There are other options for people in the military. Let's see, I did not have a Trump phone at the time. Pretty sure my old neighbor in. Yeah, I mean, slavery still exists, guys. It still exists. Whether they're paying them like a mediocre wage at like $3.50 an hour, like Gatsby was talking about, that to me is still criminal. But like Jack was saying, servers making $2.14 an hour is criminal. Compensated with his own slave and or someone to pay his rent. No, I don't. I really don't believe in UBI, Universal Basic Income. I don't. I don't agree with that. I still think we should have the means to be able to earn our own living. I don't believe. Well, if things become more automated, it's going to be a lot harder. There's going to be fewer and fewer jobs available that aren't automated, which will make things a bit more difficult. Uh, yeah, exactly. Bacon. $20 is barely a livable wage, especially nowadays. But that's just because inflation has way exceeded the pay rate increase. In this age, internet access is a human right. No, I don't. I don't agree with that. There's people that live without internet access and they do just fine. I mean, look at the Amish. None of them use the internet, and they're doing just fine. It's not a human right. I see the need for it, but I don't. I don't think it's a human right. $20 isn't great at all for California. No, and what's funny is it's California isn't even the highest minimum wage in the country, and yet I believe it's one of, if not the, I would say it's definitely one of the most expensive places to live. Oh, that's right. Hmm. Okay. So spicy. How would we be racist? Because nothing we've said actually comes close to being racist. I could almost guarantee that the chat would agree. Jack, what happened to the lady you had on your show who was in prison? It's Cajun blood here. We have slavery in our blood. And Ducks, yeah, this is on my channel. There is no boys club. I would say that stay respectful. I don't mind a difference of opinion. If you don't believe me, you can ask Gatsby. I don't see a problem with a difference of opinion, but I do expect everybody to be respectful. Can't believe my ears hearing you two say slavery is better than serving tables in 2025. You know. Yeah, see, spicy. We never even said anything about slavery being better. I'm just saying today's what's going on in today with low wages like that is damn near slavery because you can't afford anything. You can't afford a house, just like you can't back then. You're basically financially destitute. Tell me I'm wrong. Who said I was 55? And then, yes, I live with a roommate, but that's just because it's financially feasible at the moment. And I work what this or now I'm able to, because I have a roommate, I can work 40 hours a week in one job instead of working what I was working. God, I was working. I think it was 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, till about 11, 12 o'clock at night. When I was living in Tennessee, I was working 3 jobs. Working, like I said, from 5:30 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night, uh, or sooner. Sometimes it was only 10. If I was lucky, it was maybe 9. But even such, I mean, that's still what, 14, 15, 16-hour days. I was pushing in about 70 hours a week on 3 jobs, and still it was struggle. So I don't think you know what you're talking about, Spicy. Free revenue waiting to be made. That's funny. Is there a remedy for having to calm down? Uh, Man, I'm like way behind. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense there, Spicy. I used to go into my neighbor's freezer and eat his ice cream. That's funny. I gotta watch my back. Kennedy, are you marked? Jack could be an ICE agent. He just doesn't want to be. I'm afraid it might be. My youngest nephew wants to be an Instagram influencer when he grows up. What's up, Rowdy? Sorry, I just saw your message. Welcome in. Your ancestors were immigrants at one point. It's not either or. Both can get food. Rowdy Rat. Hey, Rowdy. I heard influencers will fall by 2050. They will become slaves along illegals. Because the government wants to keep us sick, poor, and uneducated. Okay, Gatsby. I'll definitely agree with that. The government wants to keep us sick, poor, and uneducated. That's why it's our responsibility to stay educated. And that's why I don't go to the hospital for anything stupid. Unless I'm dying, you're not taking me in. Poor, well, you can only do what you can. Do as much as you can to not be poor. And uneducated, well, you got to kind of educate yourself on things. You got to read books. You got to learn things that have happened in history. Teach yourself. Unfortunately, the schools aren't going to do it for you. What? I don't get that one. Jack lives behind. Last week, people in China were playing the China spies that were smuggling in the crop killing fungus, but just a couple years ago, they did the same and destroyed 95% of orange crops in Florida. That fungus is a kind we actually already contend with and destroys tons of crops each year. Wasn't a bioweapon that can eradicate all our crops. I don't know. I'd love to see any American take the test to become a citizen. They would fail miserably. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. I honestly wouldn't doubt that. I'm sure a lot of people don't know what the quest or answers to the questions on the test, especially when you see those people going to the streets asking people about like the states and the presidents and all that kind of stuff, and they can't even answer it. Yeah, our our education system sucks. I hope you can clean that. I'm sure he does, Candy. Um, you're right. We should do nothing about it. It sucks and takes a long time to become a citizen, as it should. The things that are worth waiting for are supposed to be the best things to wait for, right? You started all those clever Chinese and their ownership of American land and real estate. Yeah, Gatsby, I agree with that. I mean, the Chinese are doing it, but I really think that they've been allowed to do it, and we need to stop. We need to stop letting them. We need to take the land back from them, and give it to people that are American citizens. Well, no, not in a communist country. Chinese don't own their land. Gaming news. There is something I was going to talk about in gaming, but then I kind of got stuck in comments. Yeah, see, I'm still trying to catch up with you guys. Only complaint is they only have the American comedian VA. They did not include the British versions as an option. Jimmy, would you own slaves if they were well priced and useful? No, I would not own slaves. I don't believe slavery is the answer. And why would you say I'm not educated there, Spicy? Choose one person in chat to be your slave. I wouldn't choose anybody. Wow. Well, I'm kind of catching up. Aside from Kane, because he already kind of is. Wow, this so freaking seems like deja vu. Do I notice a difference between who tips and who doesn't? Honestly, it's hard to tell. It really is, because you would sit there and you would go, "Yeah, I'm not going to get tipped by this person," and then they just completely come out of left field and they leave you a better tip than most people would. So it's really hard to tell who would and wouldn't. Um, I mean, there's a lot of times that you would sit there and, I mean, I don't know, as a server, you still want to try, you still want to give them the best service that you can. And then, I mean, it doesn't matter what they look like, doesn't matter who they are, doesn't matter anything about them whatsoever. You give them service based on the making them have the best experience possible at the restaurant that you're working at. But then that goes unnoticed by quite a few people. Determining who would or would not tip you or would treat you fairly, it really is a toss up. I've seen people that were doctors that tip you like 2% of the ticket or the tab, and I've seen people that I would not think could afford to tip me, 60% of the tab, you know. So it's really hard differentiate who would and who wouldn't. Really. Yeah, Tennessee should definitely raise minimum wage. But see, Tennessee also goes off of federal minimum wage. Um, and most states do, honestly, because I've already looked into that. Most states will go off of federal minimum wage. Not all 50 states have a state minimum wage. I believe, from what I know, California does, Washington State does, Illinois does. What else? I think that's the only ones I know of. Pretty sure Oregon does too, and I don't remember if Idaho did or not. I did serve tables in Idaho, but I made more there than I did when I was in Tennessee. I think theirs was like $3.50 an hour or something like that, $3.40 an hour. Right. You would be his slave, Candy? That's funny. Like a little princess and find my father and happily ever after. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Okay, why is it now saying I have to be an administrator to pin a message? That's freaking stupid. Okay, anyways, Michael Douglas, you said it's not legal to kill servers like it was to do so to slaves. That's true. Back then you could. They were your property, so you could. And now you can't. But technically, you could financially kill them where they live on the street, right? So, I mean, obviously life for life isn't, I mean, it's not comparable as far as like putting somebody on the street and taking their life altogether. I get what you're saying. So yeah, there was that, but a lot of, I mean, I would have to go back and look at statistics and see how often that happened. I wouldn't be okay with it if it did, just so you know. And Candy, I don't want any slaves. I'm not, yeah, it's just not my forte, not my belief structure. But yes, spicy slaves did have all their needs met. But again, kind of like Michael Douglas pointed out, if they didn't stay in line, unnecessary things happened. And a lot of times, like even though their needs were met, they're the bare minimum. You got to remember that too. They didn't have like a heated living space. Their standard of living was much lower than the average person. So there's that as well too. You got to take that into account. And not all servers make like minimal. There's servers that would bring home, $500, $600, $700, $800 a week. So I mean, anything's possible. Yeah, I'm aware of that, Michael. See, it won't even let me pin freaking comments. And if I refresh the page, it's just going to get rid of all the messages. So I'm going to have to deal with it. And yeah, I'm aware that slaves were whipped, and I'm aware of some of the punishment that they had to go through. I get it, and I'm not trying to be insensitive to those people back then. I'm just saying that being modern day and having to be starved, not having being able to afford a place. Like, have you not seen people that live on the streets that scrape by to get money for food? People that are trying to beg or panhandle on the corner to be able to afford a hotel room for the night. Have you not seen these? How do you? I mean, can you say it's all that different than being whipped when at least they had a bed to go to? I mean, not again, the living conditions weren't great, but I mean, it's I don't know. They both suck. Okay, they both suck. And I'm not saying either one is. I'm not. There we go. I'm not going to say that one's not worse than the other, and I'm not going to say one's better than the other. Let's put it that way. I'll stand corrected. All right, that they both suck. All right, and I wouldn't wish either one on anybody. Sumo girlies were top pick no matter their station, and that's true. Candy, women were always picked over males. No, spicy. I would not do that. Wow. All right. Hey, Michael, you want to go ahead and suspend spicy for me? That's getting a little bit rude. Exactly, double bacon. I knew a girl that escaped an abusive situation. The last thing she needed was to be filmed. I found my slaves on eBay. These slave childish. Slaves' needs are met. Please don't report me to ICE. How much money do you make now, Jimmy? I would guess at least 6. No, I don't make 6 figures. I wish I did. Come on, guys. We're not freaking. Wow. And no, I haven't been a slave or a server most of my life. I have served in my lifetime, but it's not all my life. If Jimmy could lift this. What? If I could lift the sack of soil I brought along to test him, I'd gladly pay 3 figures. I'll put it this way. I work in the auto industry, all right? I'm pulling parts. I'm pulling tires. I'm pulling batteries and stuff like that. I've carried car doors. I've carried car hoods. I've carried quarter panels, fenders, batteries, tires. I mean, you name it, I've carried it. So I know what hard work is, guy. Stefan Molyneux return this week. I don't know who that is, Michael. Jollibee is delicious. I've never heard of it. Jimmy, what's your favorite aspect of slavery? I told you I'm not into slavery, guys. Wow, guys, come on. I'm not in poverty. Jimmy, who is cooler, Darth Maul or Abraham Lincoln? That's a tough one. They're both cool in their own right. Tomorrow I'm taking my AR-15 and freeing the Latinas at the local. What? Y'all crazy? UBI is an inevitable outcome with robots and AI. I hope not, Michael. I really hope not. I have the sudden urge to go to Hooters. Those poor girls. Yeah, I doubt they're hurting for money at Hooters. Just saying. Some ways are just better suited for being unpaid for their labor. What? Are you racist, Spicy? I mean, that's kind of rude to say. If that's the criteria, then. Oh, the adage is better to be whipped than tipped. What? I'm an engineer and I can't afford a house. I'm a slave too. Basically, take me back. It's really hard to explain that, Paulin. I'm an engineer and can't afford a house. And am I a slave too? I think we're all kind of slaves to the corporate world, to be honest. I mean, we work and they're trying to get us to work, and not own anything, basically. Yeah, I definitely have a lot to catching up to do. I mean, damn. Paul, I'll go as far as telling you that I work in the automotive industry. That's about as far as I want to disclose to everybody. Actually, OnlyFans isn't a good route to go for anybody. Says you're responding to. I'm trying to respond or read aloud what I'm responding to. I really am. Everyone should work as a server for a year. The world would be a better place. Yes, I agree with that. If you see how hard you have to work and how little you're respected as a server, oh yeah, absolutely. Everyone should. Okay, I like how you want to be a YouTube star but can't even deal with chat correctly. What are you talking about? That is Spicy. You're just being completely rude. My papa worked the dinner shift. I worked the dinner shift, and my son will work the dinner shift. Just what the masa wants. Time for school. Okay, Alfred. Why is Temple's hair gone? I couldn't tell you. I'm sure. Snoozy says, "Why is all of Tim Pool's hair gone? Is it because he's so smart?" No, I think it's just genetics. That'd be my guess. And Spicy says, but Jimmy, you don't even come off like you read the internet. You never have sources or facts. Education isn't about a degree; it's about curiosity and research. I agree with that. It's all about curiosity and research. It's looking into things. It's educating yourself. Like hell, I went to college, and a lot of what I learned in college, I could have just found out off the internet. So I'll agree with that. I don't have sources just because I don't I don't save the sources that I find. As far as facts, have I dug like I have a normal, full-time job, so I can't sit there and like dig into everything. I've got a lot of obligations, a lot of commitments that I've got to keep up with. So I can't just, source out these facts on a regular basis. If this was all I did, damn well I'd be doing that. I'd be finding or doing research on everything that I come across. I take into account that, or put trust that people that I watch do their own research and they seem educated to me, um, or at least give it a fair shake. If they don't, then I'll criticize them then. All the nutrients went to his brain. Pollen, you just cracked an IPA. Cheers. Enjoy, sir. Salute. No, please don't call me that. Why did Jack get a visit from the Secret Service? I don't know. You'd have to ask him. I don't know any details about it. Or even if he did, I don't know. Pollen Monger IPA. Put on the Magic Dragon. I'll bring the mics hard. I'm down for that snoozy. This is a recreational IPA. Sumo. Sounds like a blast. Michael Yeehaw. Oops. Did you hear the story about how Ben Shapiro got discovered by the actor who played Mr. Freeney on Boy Meets World? Really? I didn't hear about that. I don't know. Ben Shapiro's cousin is Matilda? Really? Give it to people. I don't like government handouts. Yeah, I don't either. Ben Shapiro would be terrible. Slave, too mouthy. I have whatever that is. I don't know. Mind if a white girl speaks a little Chinese tonight? Ben Shapiro is one of the 1,000 Island Stairs. The buy-in cost for slaves is high, but it's worth it over time. Depending on their longevity, you never buy a sickly slave. Who said spicy? That's just so rude. What if they want to be slaves? I never said anything about owning slaves. Spicy. That's just kind of rude. And if you want to make comments like that, take it elsewhere, please. Great with silk and tofu too. Cried that movie spicy. Only slave. Yeah, Michael, we talked about the Trump phone. We were looking at different carriers that it's available on. It looks like it's T-Mobile at the moment. You tip like you're running for mayor, Debbie? That's funny. Such an interesting Bluetooth dad simulator. Half an hour behind, reading under his breath to himself. The works. Oh, you're funny. Snoozy. I'm trying, all right? I'm really trying. I'm just I'm going through or skimming through and trying to make out points that people have made, not trying to read everybody's comments that has no relevance. If there's conversations that people are involved in, that great. But if there's direct questions towards me, then I'll read those aloud. I'm not trying to be rude. Spicy, no. We're not here to make people property again. Oh my God. And sumo, I would love to ride for a living, but I don't. And like Michael said, I'm a YouTuber and streamer. I typically do gaming. I've been doing this because we do F as in Frank on Saturday, and I'm trying to grow this channel. And then trying to build this until, or as I'm building this, I've got a full-time job that I'm working outside of this. Anakin was a slave. See how well he turned out. Yeah, he was freed and became a Jedi, and then became the Dark Lord. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not even gonna participate. No. Fuck. All right. Well, I can't get that done. Let's see. Oh no. That's spicy. Name of the Galactic Senate and Republic I time you out with extreme prejudice. Thank you, Michael. God, I'm still 15 minutes behind. Jimmy Wally's Lounge. Burrito style. Yeah, we're here. She's currently serving slave duty. I think she has beige today, so at least the Chicagoans will leave her alone. Jimmy, who makes good cars these days? Honestly, I think they all suck, to be honest. They all are built to fail. That's just my opinion. I follow, I follow this one channel. It's, what is it? I think it's called the Car Care Nut. He has a shop that he works on these things, and he gives you a pretty fair assessment of cars too, or I think he only works with certain types of cars, but if you want to check him out, like I said, it's the Car Care Night. He gives you honest reviews of the different years and makes and models that he would recommend, and he sounds pretty legit. I mean, he's pretty knowledgeable about all of it. And no, I don't work at Jiffy Lube, Snoozy. Nothing wrong with that, Gatsby. I understand that everybody's meant for hard labor. But that's why we've got diversity in types of jobs that we can work. I mean, I can do either. I'm doing this. as well as work the day job I was talking about. I do that as well, which I would say is more manual or more physical labor. Was like Stefan Molyneux, or I'm guessing, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, was like the first right-wing content creator that got completely deep personed and deplatformed. He went on hiatus for 5 years, or 5 years ago, and returned today. Really? Are you talking about on the Tim Pool's show? I got a raise last week and cracked 6 figures. Not to brag, Jimmy. Well, awesome. That's awesome, man. Congrats, Paulin. That's awesome. Candy, you're only making $8 an hour plus tips. I'm guessing you're in serving or doing something else that obviously makes tips. Didn't Stefan attack Taylor Swift on Twitter and he spiraled from there? I don't know anything about that. Gatsby. I'm back. Welcome back, Rowdy. I'm posting for my gold T1 Trump phone. Really? I don't think it's out yet, is it? Thought it doesn't get released till August. Jay Gatsby allegedly impregnated Lauren Southern too, and was the actual father. That's the real reason he disappeared. Really? That's interesting. This freaking cat. Let's see. Welcome back, Ronnie. Would you prefer to be a child slavery or homeless on Skid Row? So true. I wish I could be a streamer. It's not much. It doesn't take much to be a streamer, honestly. I got into it, pre-COVID, and doing video games. Took a long break after the first year, and then I got back into it. You will own nothing, live in the pods, eat the bugs, and drink cockroach milk. Yep. That's what I've heard. Good thing about bugs, good protein. That's true. Not exactly the best way to consume protein, but it's true. No, Paulin, not Jiffy Lube. Even though there's nothing wrong with Jiffy Lube, to be honest. Depends if that's what your thing is. I don't think they pay very well, to be honest. 2016 alt-right hit different. The world was so different, or it was a different place. That is true. That is very true, Gatsby. Redlow, the bug bars in Snowpiercer looked tasty. It's been a while since I've seen that movie, but they look like big gummy bears. That's funny. I wish Jack would try cooking with bugs. Ugh, gross. Good idea for the month theme, like the exotic meats month, bug month. That's funny. I don't think he would do that, but I'd bring it up to him. My curiosity ends when I'm wrong, but luckily I'm not wrong often. Your curiosity ends when you're wrong? Shouldn't your curiosity peak when you're wrong? Bug Wars, Jack's Bug Chaser month, Redlow, would literally be amazing. I hope Poland is still alive after doing alcohol. Oh, good. I'm about 80% done with my IPA and still alive. 80% done with one bottle or the whole case? Or did you get a large bottle, like a 22 ounce? Mod span spicy. You and Jack should do a wing wars at the strip clubs. I'd be open to wing wars, but not strip clubs. I wouldn't necessarily say they would have the best wings, unless you're thinking of some other kind of wings. Okay, Tom Myers. Wow, Spicy was a beautiful young lady. I miss her. She was full of sensuality. What kind of sneezing would be on them double bacon? What kind of seasoning would be on the double bacon? Oh, yeah. Mod's band, Rowdy Rat. He's a cheater. Spicy is Icarus of our generation. Time me for me to hit the hay. Nice seeing you, Jimmy. Have a good night. You too, Candy. If I caught you before you left, thanks for stopping by. Good night, Candy. Keep the dreams sensual. You're funny. Okay. I tried that death stick once and got so high I ended up as a slave on Tatooine. You're funny. That's good. That's a good joke. Bonds ban anyone who tries to time me out. Yeah, I don't think that's how it works there, Tom. Double bacon sounds better than being a server, at least. Chat, do you guys think I'm autistic? Damn, Jimmy, you read slow as fuck. Yeah, probably. Sorry about that. A lot of new ones have that auto off when idling that does insane wear and tear on your starter. And you can disable the feature, but it resets anytime you shut the car off. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of things are just, they're not, I mean, some things shouldn't be messed with like that. And then there's things that they don't make the best quality parts. So then that way they do fail over time. So that way you have to get it fixed or have to have it replaced. They're just not, cars just aren't built the same as they were, I'd say 40, 50 years ago. Not saying that a lot of it's better, because there are certain benefits to cars nowadays and there wasn't then. Like gas efficiency was better then, or better now than it is then. But nonetheless, it's trade-offs. So many electronics to that can fail over time. Yep. Jimmy, how tall are you? Not as tall as I'd rather be, but I'm okay. I wish I was 6'3". Jimmy is 11 cowboy hats tall. That's funny. Jack has a killer instinct. Jack's good at. Okay, I'm not gonna say that, Sumo. That's not cool. Jimmy got that dog in him. Show cat. Show cat. You want to see my cat? I'll show you. I'll show you the cat. Hold on. Give me a second. Shelby. 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 Where you at? Meow. Meow. Here. Here. Here, pussy. All right. Hey, Shelby. Damn it. Here he is. Shelby. 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 Hey. There you go. Now he wants to sit on my lap. Cover me in hair. Yeah. You. Need to brush you. Let's see. Free the cat. We want this. Snorlax learned to chill cold. Free the cat. We want to see her. It's actually him. His name's Shelby. Shout out to Paul and Monger. Jack is a Christian. His sins are forgiven. Just like Jimmy T. What? They might have the breasts and legs. What? What are you talking about? Breasts and legs. Jimmy, are a breast or a leg man? Should I answer that on live stream? It might be rude. I say pants check, but all the women in chat have disappeared. All that's left is a straight man. Yes. Kobe the cat. We love Kobe. It's Shelby. Kind of like the Mustang. Shelby Mustang. Yay, Jimmy. Do you watch and do I what? Sumo, you said, do you watch and just like that? What? I'm not understanding what you're saying. What do you mean? Am I playing Night Rain? There we go. See, now I'm caught up. No, I'm not playing Night Rain at the moment. I don't have Night Rain. I do want to get it, but I've heard like mixed reviews on whether it's worth getting. So I guess we'll see. I've heard it's something kind of like, almost like a Fortnite in a way, but not so sandboxy. You kind of run and defeat lower bosses and then come to a final boss at the end. And just like that is a TV show of a generation. I've not heard of it. Where's the show, or where's it show, or that show play? Is it on Netflix or what's up? You don't watch it because Samantha isn't on it? Justice for Samantha. My grandfather invented the Cobb salad. Really? That's interesting. All right. Damn. Because now you've covered me in freaking. Yeah. When I pet my cat, he likes to drool. So now I've got cat drool and cat hair all over my freaking pants. Yikes. I'm going to have to freaking brush that off. Fun times. All right, guys. Any last things we want to talk about before we call it? We've got the game stream in about 30 minutes. I don't know what was going on with chat tonight, but so many people making accusations. And naked Rosie O'Donnell on that show, but no Samantha. Are you what? That's just wrong. That's wrong. Now I don't know if I want to watch that show. If that's all this, or that's what's on there. I don't even know who Samantha is. See, freaking cat fur in the air now. And just like that, huh? Let me see. What's it called? And just like that. Comedy drama series. What is this, like a God, what is it called? Sex and the City sequel or something? John Corbett's in it. I don't see anybody with the name Samantha in this. Yeah, I don't see a Samantha in here. I'm looking at character names and actor names. Who knows? Hey, what the? All right. Sorry about that. Technical glitch. Let me grab the freaking tablet. I'll read the chats from the tablet real quick. Uh, let's see. What did I miss? I see Justice for Samantha. I want to play it, but no one to play with. Yeah, see, that's the thing about that game, Night Rain, is that you have to have several people to play with. From what I heard, you have to have like 3 people in order to play it, um, or they randomly put you in with people, and then um, those people could potentially leave while you're in the middle of um, the arena or whatever the session. Did you see Sony is going to start looking at the PS6? Yeah, I've heard they're planning on. They've already got things in the works for a PS6. Um, Holy hell. Let's see. Did he get hacked? No, I'm not hacked. The FBI is silenced. No. I think it has something to do with the whole 2 hour mark on Rumble. I think that's what it is. I haven't even played Helldivers actually. Uh, do I like musical theater? Not really. It's not my thing. All right, I'm caught up. Yep, definitely caught up. All right. Damn it, it's already 7:30. Da, 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 da. I think I'm going to call it tonight. If you haven't followed me already, definitely hit that subscribe, hit the like button, help the show grow. Share the show with anyone you know. Like I said, that way it'll help the channel grow. Um, I do have links to everything in my About Me or in the description on the channel. You can get my all my socials on there, all my platforms like Rumble and YouTube and Twitch. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, the whole nine. Follow me on all those, so that way you can get notified, and if it's easier for you to share on those channels as well. And then yeah, I think until next time, I will be streaming on the video game in about a half hour or so. It might be pushed a little bit late just because of how late we're streaming today on here. But I gotta go get something to eat. And like Gatsby said, go hydrate some before I start streaming the game. Yeah, until next Saturday on F as in Frank, you can also find that on all the different platforms and follow us there. All right. Until then, I'll see you guys later. Have a great week and have a good evening. Thanks for stopping by.